Welcome back. So still on complex number, then still on De'moivres theorem. Now let's go to example 2. Now, so that you can understand De'moivres theorem very well, let's solve example 2. Express 1/2 minus I square root of 3/2 all to the power of 100 in the form z equals to x plus iy. How do you go about it? Solution. Just very, very simple. Now, this video will make use of a short method instead of going through a long method, or instead of writing things and so on and so forth. So let's just solve it direct. Now, let our z, our complex number, let's put this at what? 1/2 minus I square root of 3/2, right? So let our complex number be this guy. So the first thing you always do is what? Compare. So you say compare with z is equals to x plus iy. Now, where x, what does x represent? 1/2. And what does y represent? This I, the coefficient of I is y. What's the coefficient of this I here? You have to take it with the sign. Don't forget to. That's minus square root of 3/2. Minus square root of 3/2. Now, what do we do? Now, the next thing is to get our argument and magnitude. So how do you get your magnitude? That will be r square root of x square plus y square. Now, that will be r equals to square root of, what's our x? 1/2 square plus what's our y? Minus square root of 3/2 square. So what do we get? We say r equals to, it's just like saying you take your own square, 1 square over 2 square, right? Then plus we have minus square root of 3 square, right? Over 2 square. You take your own square root, you take your own square root. So what happened? This square cancel this root here, right? So r will be equals to square root of 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4. Plus, don't forget, minus square will give us plus, right? This minus square root of 3 is the same thing as saying minus square root of 3 in two places, right? When they say square, minus will cancel minus, root 3, root 3. They will cancel each other. We are left with what? 3. Just only what? 3. We are left with 3. Don't forget. Square root of 3 multiplied by square root of, when minus cancel minus, square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3 will give us square root of 9. Square root of 9 is still what? 3. Do you understand? So, then over 2 square is what? 4. What do we do? LCM. What's the LCM? 4. So here, 4 in 4, 1. 1 times 1 is what? 1. 4 in 4, 1. 1 times 3 is what? 3. So what do we have? Square root of what? 4/4, right? So that will give us what? 1. So this is our R. Our R is 1. Now let's go for the argument, theta. How do you get theta? Theta is gotten from what? Tan inverse of y over x, right? So that will give us theta equals to tan inverse of, what's our y? Our y is what? Minus square root of 3/2. Then over, what's our x? 1/2. Now, what do we now do? Theta will now be equals to tan inverse of, what are we going to have? We'll have minus square root of 3/1. Do you know? Let me do it for you. You have minus square root of 3/2 divided by 1/2. So that will be minus square root of 3/2. When you change it to multiplication, this goes up, this comes down. That will be 2/1. This cancel this. What do we have? Minus square root of 3/1, right? So, and it's still the same thing as saying theta equals to tan inverse of minus root 3, right? So, tan inverse of minus square root of 3 is what? So that will give us what? Tan inverse of minus square root of 3 will give us what? Will give us 60 degree, right? So that will give us 60 degree. So our theta will be equals to what? 60 degree. Do you understand? So now we've gotten theta. Now, how do we do it now? Let's convert it to what? To radian. Let's convert it to radian. Now, how do you convert it to radian? I told you conversion of degree to radian will now be what? That degree multiplied by pi over 180, right? So what do we have? Here will be what? 3. So what will be our answer? Our answer will be what? So square root of tan inverse of minus square root of 3 will give us 300 degree. You know, when you press it, to give you, if you are using this kind of calculator, it will give you minus 60 degree, right? But what quadrant do they fall on? This is the negative aspect, and this is the positive aspect. So they fall on the fourth quadrant. And what's on the fourth quadrant? That's 360 degree. So 360 minus 60 degree will give you 300. So that's how we got this theta as 300 degree. So now, what do we do? Let's just convert it to radian direct. Conversion from 300 degree to radian will now be what? 300 degree multiplied by pi over 180 degree, right? What can go in 300? I can go in 180. What can go? Now let's use 30, right? 30 in 300 will give us what? 100. 30 in this will give us what? 6, right? But something can still go. 2 can go in 100, right? Oh, sorry. 30 in 300 is 10. So then 30 in this is 6. So now, what can still go? Something can still go. 2 here 3, 2 here 5. That's 5 pi over 3. So means that I can put my theta as what? As 5 pi over 3 in form of radian. Let's just convert it directly here in form of what? Radian. So in form of radian, 300 degrees conversion from degree to radian will be what? 5 pi over 3. Now, what do we now do now? Let's just insert using the complex number. And what is the formula we are using? We are using the formula Zn equals to r to the power of n. Then what do we now say? Cos n theta plus I sine n theta, right? This is the formula we are using. So what are we going to have? Z to the power, what's our n? Our n is the 100. Equals to, what do we get for r? Our answer for r is what? 1. So 1 to the power of 100. Then cos. So here will be what? Our n is 100 multiplied by, what's our theta? That's 5 pi over 3. Then plus I sine 100 multiplied by 5 pi over 3. Right? I'm not sure you'll be able to see it. Sorry about that. Let me just shift it inside here. So that's z to the power of 100 equals to 1 to the power of 100. That will be cos 100 multiplied by 5 pi over 3 plus I sine 100 multiplied by 5 pi over 3. Now, what do we do now? You know, this will give us z to the power of 100. 1 to the power of 100 is 1. Then cos 100 times 5 is what? That will give us 500 pi over 3 plus I sine 500 pi over 3, right? Now, don't forget the formulation we want to do. So take a screenshot of it or pause the video, then you write this. Now, don't forget the formulation I told you we are going to do when we get to this part. So we have z to the power of 100. 1 multiplied by this is still the same thing. So we have cos 500 pi over 3 plus I sine 500 pi over 3. Now, the formulation I told you about, look for one number that when we multiply with these 3, it will give us, it will be something closer to what? 500. Now, let's check. Let's use 3 multiplied by, what should we use? 150. That's 450. Okay. That's 3 multiplied by 150. So we're getting closer. Let's use 3 multiplied by 180. That's 540. It's more than 500. 3 multiplied by 160. That's 480. Closer to 500. 3 multiplied by 145. 3 multiplied by 145 will give us 435. Okay. Let's use 3 multiplied by, what should we use? 165. That's 495. Okay. 3 multiplied by 140. What do we use now? 166. Let's use 166. Yes. 3 multiplied by 166 will give us what? 498. Something closer. 498. So what do we now have here? We'll be having, you say cos. So that will be what? You use 3 multiplied by 166. That will now be 166 pi plus, it will remain what? 498. If you give us 498, it remains 2 to complete 500. That will be 2 pi over 3. Do you understand the formulation? If you do the LCM here, the LCM is 3. This is over 1. 1 multiplied by 3 is what? 3. 3 times 166 to give us 498 pi. That's 498 pi plus 3 in 3, 1. 1 times 2 pi is what? 2 pi. Check. 498 pi plus 2 pi will give us what? 500 pi over 3. Do you understand the formulation now? So that is how we did the formulation. So let's continue. So the same thing you do for cos is what you will do for sine also. So what do we now have here? That will be plus I sine. So here will be what? 166 pi plus 2 pi over what? 3. Do we get it now? So I told you that just neglect this one. We have z to the power of 100 equals to, so what are we going to take? 2 pi over 3 plus I sine 2 pi over 3. You know, like I told you now, you neglect this one, so we don't need it again. So this is our final answer. Or we can go and convert it to degree. Let's convert it back to degree. 2 pi over 3 to degree, that will be pi over 180, right? So, sorry, that will be 180 over pi. This cancel this. 3 here is what? 60, right? 2 times 60 will give us what? 120. So it means that will be what? Z to the power of 100 equals to cos 120 degree plus I sine. So here 2 is what? 120 degree. Do you understand? So this is our answer. Or better still, you can put it in form of what? They say we should put it in form of what? Complex number, in form of x plus iy. Meaning we have to put it in form of what? Cartesian form. Now, cos 120 will give us what? You press cos 120. That will give us minus 1 over 2. So that will be z to the power of 100 equals to, that is minus 1 over 2. Then press sine 120. That's what? That's root 3 over 2. That's plus root. Don't forget it has I. That's I square root of 3 over 2. So this is the final answer. Because they said we should put it in form of x plus iy. So please, in the example 1, don't forget that when we prove it to this point, make sure you convert the answer. If you actually watched the example 1, please make sure you put it in form of what? In form of Cartesian form. Because we are told to put it in the form of z equals to x plus iy. I know it's in Cartesian form. So please, if you watch example 1, please make sure you put your answer in form of this. Thank you. So if you don't understand, reach out to us. We're always willing to explain. And please don't forget to like this video and share this video. Thank you.